Hello, I'm Spencer, and this is First Aid. Today we're going to be talking about the first aid method. This is the method that you would use to ensure that you're doing the right things in the right order in an emergency situation. The first aid method is as follows. First, check to see if the scene is safe. Second, call for help. Third, approach safely. Fourth, treat major injuries. Fifth, make sure that no more major injuries can occur and prevent them. Sixth, treat for shock. 7, make a thorough examination. And 8, make a plan. First, you're going to check to see if the scene is safe. Look around, see if there are any hazards. Are these going to be dangerous to you while you're going to help this person? Are they going to be dangerous to people around you? Think about what caused the injury. Is that something still active and something that can still threaten you, other rescuers, and bystanders? Look around to see if there are bystanders. How can they help? Do they need to stand clear? How can you tell them what to do to make sure they don't become victims themselves? Could they potentially go and get help? Could they guide an ambulance to your location? These are some things to consider. The second step is to call for help. In most parts of the United States, you can dial 911 to reach emergency services. You can also send a bystander to use their phone or another phone in the area to call for help. Furthermore, if you're a short way off the coast, 911 is also used to reach the United States Coast Guard. Also, if you're further off the coast and your phone does not work, you can use your VHF radio on channel 16, 156.8 megahertz to call the United States Coast Guard. Step 3, approach the scene safely. This is where you're going to be checking around for any form of hazards as you approach the victim. You're also going to put on personal protective equipment such as gloves to protect you from bodily fluids such as blood, urine, etc. You're also going to use a CPR barrier mask when you're performing rescue breaths on someone while doing CPR. The fourth step is to treat major injuries. When you get to the scene, do triage. This is where you take a look and see what level the injuries are. Major injuries, such as breathing issues, severe bleeding, or other hurry cases, are going to be at your top priority. Smaller issues, such as minor cuts and scrapes, are going to be at the lower priority. You want to take care of the life-threatening injuries first. Another thing to look out for is medical ID bracelets. This can tell you pertinent information about the patient, such as if they have asthma, or diabetes, or another medical condition. The fifth step is to prevent further injury. To do this, if they are in a safe location, leave them in that location. Do not move the victim, especially if they have a spinal injury. If they are in a location that is dangerous to them, such as a pool or other dangerous location, you're going to want to remove them from that scenario to a safer spot. The sixth step is to treat for shock. Shock happens to victims who are under extreme stress or have an extreme injury. To treat for shock, lift their feet above their head to ensure that the blood flows to the rest of their body. The seventh step is to make a more thorough examination. To do this, you can use the DOTS method and the sample method. DOTS, or DOTS, stands for deformities, open wounds, tenderness, and swelling. If the patient is conscious, you can use the sample. Sample are questions to ask: signs and symptoms, allergies, medication, past medical history, last thing they ate or last medication they took, and events leading up to the injury. Step 8 is to make a plan. If medical assistance hasn't arrived already, make a plan. Make a definitive plan about what you're going to do in the meantime. Are you going to send 2 able-bodied runners to go and guide an ambulance? Are you going to help the victim up if the victim can walk by themselves or with help and walk them to the nearest road? Now we're going to run through a scenario with the methods that we just showed you. This is a real example that happened a few years ago to me when I was in the classroom. I checked that the scene was safe. Then I sent people to call 911. I approached safely and began administering care. I put them in the rescue recovery position to prevent further injury. I treated for shock by elevating his feet. I checked for more injuries and interviewed the patient using sample and dots. I told them to remain calm and to lay down until help arrives. My plan was to keep them in this position Just in case they were to pass out again, it would be safer if they'd done so on the ground rather than in the air and fall again and risk another injury, such as a head injury.
Before I conclude this episode, please check out our link section in the About page. There's a link titled Suggest Videos. This link will take you to a Google form. Please fill this out to suggest videos that you would like to see us make in the future. If you would like, please fill out your name and where you're from, so that we can give you a shout out when we upload that video. That link will also be down in the description below.
Thanks for watching. We hope that you found this video interesting and informative. If so, please consider subscribing to keep updated on content to help you through your scouting journey. The sixth step is to treat for shock. You're going to want to check the